it's Jessica from the Youth Services Department of the Finkelstein Memorial Library. And today we are going to be using balloons and yarn to make some decorations for your house or your bedroom or wherever you want to put them. So in your kit, you should have a balloon, you should have some yarn, some glue, some cornstarch, and some Vaseline. You'll also need some mixing bowls and some measuring cups. I think you need a half measuring cup and a quarter measuring cup. You'll need some water and some bowls for mixing things. And then you'll also need somewhere you want to hang the balloon while you're wrapping the yarn around it. So I kind of have this little paper towel holder on a couple of chairs. So that is a good option, but you can also just use the curtain rod in your shower or your bathtub, something like that. You just don't want to touch anything because the yarn is going to be a little bit sticky. So let's get started. So the first step is that you have to blow up your balloon to the size that you want your decoration to be. I think I want a little bit bigger than that. I'm not sure how big these balloons are though, so I'm not sure how big they'll get. Let's see. There we go. I think that's pretty good. So you want to tie off your balloon the size that you want. Done. Yeah. Then you want to tie it to where you're going to be hanging it from. So I have some twine. You should have some in your kit as well. I'm going to use this twine both for hanging the balloon from whatever I'm hanging it from, and also at the end to hang up my decoration that I make. So if you also want to use it for both of those things, then I suggest that you not use all of it right now. But you may also have some other string, or maybe you have some of the extra yarn that we're going to use and you can use that later. Whatever works for you. So you want to tie one piece around your balloon, just like you would if you were at a party, putting strings on balloons. Except this would be a very sad balloon to have with a string on it at a party because it doesn't have helium in it, so it's not going to float. So that would be a very sad balloon to have at a party. But for us, it works just fine. Let me turn you guys a little bit so you can see what we're doing here. I'm going to tie this around here. But it's not going to be very stable. So we'll see how much trouble it gives me as we continue. But I'm going to tie this. And then we're going to tie it again. I'm going to leave a little loop at the end so that I can get it off later. I'm going to cut off some of that extra so that it's not in the way. There we go. All right, so there's our balloon hanging from our rod and hanging, not touching anything. Awesome. Okay, so the next step is that we are actually going to use our petroleum jelly. So this is like Vaseline. This particular one smells like lavender and chamomile. So that's just an added perk for us. And you didn't get a whole jar of it because that you definitely don't need all of this, but you should have gotten a small jar of it in your kit. Why can't I get this open? There we go. All right. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. All right, so we're going to use this and coat the balloon in the Vaseline. So it's gonna definitely feel a little bit weird, but you know, we're just gonna do it. And the point of this is so that when we wrap the yarn around, the yarn is gonna be soaked in our solution that we're gonna make, and that will make the yarn stiff when it dries so that we can pop the balloon and the yarn will stay like a cage. But you don't want the yarn to stick to the balloon because then when you pop the balloon, it's gonna ruin it. So we are going to rub this all over the balloon, and that way when we pop it, the yarn won't stick to it. So I'm not exactly sure how to coat a balloon in petroleum jelly, so you just go for it. Oh, it doesn't feel as weird as I thought it would. I thought this would feel really yucky, but it's actually okay. What do you guys think? I think it's okay. It's not too bad. It doesn't feel too yucky. All right, it's like half of it. This would be easier if I was using like the rod in my bathtub. It would be easier so I didn't have to hold everything at once. But I don't think that you guys would really like to see my bathroom. I don't think that would be like a really nice video to see. So instead I'm doing it in my beautiful kitchen with my beautiful yellow walls because no one wants to see a bathroom. Yucky. Okay, so that is one shiny, shiny, slippery balloon. All right. Just some hair. At least I know it's mine because it's pink. All right, so we can close that back up. Now, you can, you know, wash your hands, or you can, you know, just rub that Vaseline right in. It smells really good. All right, so now we are going to make our solution. I'm not sure that I have just this little bowl. I'm not sure that it's quite big enough, but we're gonna give it a go. So you need a 1/4 cup measure. There you go. And a 1/2 cup measure. There you go. Back over there. And you are going to need mix some school glue. So we're going to use about 1/2 a bottle of the school glue. We are going to use 1/2 cup of cornstarch, and we are going to use a 1/4 cup of water. And you want it to be sort of like a paste consistency. So let's see if those measurements work. We can always add more. Okay. All right. So again, you did not get a whole can of cornstarch in your kit, but you did get a container full. So you want about 1/2 cup of that. About that much. And yes, I did just make a mess, so please be careful. And we're gonna add that. And then we're gonna get a 1/4 cup of water. Add that. Awesome. And then this may seem a little weird, but I'm gonna mix it with my finger. Okay, so you just want to mix, and you want to break up any clumps of cornstarch that's in there. And then once you get to the consistency that you want, you're going to dip the yarn that you want to use into the mixture, squeeze out any extra liquid, just squeeze it back into the bowl. And then you're going to begin wrapping the yarn around the balloon. You want to go vertically and then switch to horizontally. So for those of us who have not paid attention in class, vertically is up and down, and horizontally is side to side. So you want to start off in one direction. So the directions say vertically, but I'm not sure it matters. But you want to start in one direction and then switch to the other direction. I'm going to add just a little bit more cornstarch. And I didn't quite use half the bottle of glue, so I'm going to add a little more glue as well, because I didn't really use half. All right. I think it's coming along. Oh, juice. Making a mess. Making a mess. So basically, yes, so you are going to wrap it around the balloon, and then once you have gotten to the point that you're happy with, you are going to cut the yarn if there's any extra, and then you're going to tie the last piece, the tail, around one of the other pieces of yarn that's already on the balloon, just to sort of close it. I'm going to wash my hands one more time just to get this cornstarch off of it. Okay. So I'm going to go with some yellow yarn to match my yellow walls. I like yellow, and also it's color for fall. So let's angle back down over here. All right, so here is my paste, and here is my yarn. So I'm not going to dip the whole ball of yarn in there because, first of all, I think it's too much yarn. And second of all, I think it'll be hard to unroll from the ball. I could be wrong about that. But I figure that I could always use what I have here and then come back for another piece. So I might as well use less, come back for more. All right, we're just gonna give up on this attempt. We're gonna finish off by wrapping this around and just looping it through another piece of yarn. And then we're just gonna start over with a new piece of yarn. Boop. I'm gonna try the whole ball this time. Gross. I want the glue to get on every piece though. Okay. All right, let's try it again. Oh yeah, that's the way to go, guys. So I'm wrapping from the top of the balloon down through the bottom of the balloon and then back up over the top for now. And then I'm going to switch. Stay hanging. Excuse you. Then I'm going to switch to around the balloon. And I do think that you can kind of mix it up a few times, you know, you can go this way and then go back horizontally. You can do whatever you want. So as you can see, the yarn is really only holding its shape because it's sticking to itself and because we are actively wrapping it. But as soon as I let go of the balloon, it starts to unravel, which is kind of what we want. All right, and I'm at the end of our yarn. So I'm gonna pick a piece. I'm gonna pick this piece right here, tuck it under, and I'm just going to tie it a little bit. I'm not even going to knot it. I'm just going to kind of wrap it around itself. And there were some sections that I felt like were really dry. And of course, you need the yarn to be damp with the mixture, because if it's not, then it won't hold its shape when you pop the balloon later. So I guess I should have mentioned before, this is an overnight craft. This is an overnight craft. You've got to let it dry overnight. Okay, so put it somewhere safe, somewhere your cat can't get it, which is the issue I'm gonna have. And let it dry. All right. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna put this somewhere where my cats can't get to it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hi everyone, it is 24 hours later. I let my balloon completely dry for 24 hours. This, oops, it's still connected. And this is what we have left. So now is the moment of truth when I am going to pop this balloon. I am using a knife. You can use a needle. You can use a sharp pair of scissors, whatever you think is safest to use in your home. I'm sorry if you hear any meows. That is a foster kitten who just had to have a bath and is very unhappy about it. So I'm going to pop this balloon and we're gonna see what happens. Whoa. So I was gonna hold the balloon up when I popped it, but it popped so fast I didn't even have a chance. All right, so this is what I'm left with. And I am going to, sorry, my eye's a little itchy. I'm going to carefully pull the balloon parts out. And here is our decoration. There is a little bit of like, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of flakiness on it from the glue, which I'm going to carefully just, maybe pick off a little bit of it. Some of it I'll just leave on and hopefully it'll fall off. But now I can use some of my remaining twine. I can just cut off a piece. And decide how I want this to hang. Maybe like that. And then I can just pick a spot to tie this. Oops. There we go. And now I can hang it wherever I want. So as a backup, I actually made a second one after I finished this one last night. I made a pink one. So let's see if this one works too. Boom. There we go. Oh. Wow, this balloon popped in two completely separate pieces. Uh-oh. All right, here is an example of what not to do. I actually wrapped this yarn around the balloon at the end by accident, and now that it has dried, the balloon is stuck. So my backup is actually the one that failed. Come on. There we go. I got it. So this one, you can see I didn't have enough glue on this part of the yarn when I wrapped it. So it's a little bit wobbly, which is okay if I just hang it with this part on top. It doesn't really matter. This part doesn't look so nice, but this part looks really cool. So I can tie some twine on there and I can hang that up too. So I think these are pretty cool, especially if you hang them together. If you were to hang them kind of like this, I think that would look really cool. So I hope that you enjoyed learning this very messy craft. Stay. I hope that you enjoyed learning this really messy craft. It was a learning experience for both of us, and that's my favorite kind, to kind of experiment together. And if you really love how yours came out, you can take a picture of it, of you holding it, of you making it, whatever you want, and you can send it to us at fmlchild@rcls.org, and maybe we can use it on our social media or our website to show how awesome our programs are. So we'll see you next time, and thanks for joining me. Bye.